We hope you enjoy this exciting free preview. Unlock the world's largest library of European hunting content when you subscribe to MyOutdoorTV. Get your 30-day free trial now with promo code YT30.
Wild Boar Fever Spain is brought to you by Aimpoint, the future in sight.
Right now, driven shooting from the mountains of central Spain, Castilla-La Mancha plays host to some of the finest rifle shots you'll find. An armada of people and dogs, all working toward the same goal. The Kylers are on the move. This is Wild Boar Fever. The Wild Boar Fever crew is in the mountains of central Spain at an estancia known as El Arenal. This is our first visit to Spain, but our hunters know this country well. The challenging terrain and fast-charging boars are living up to their legends, and so far on Drive 1, we've had the rare honor of watching a true master take control of a stand. Spain hunts in the Monteria style, which means the boar can come from any direction, and Franz-Albrecht Oettingen-Spielberg put on a masterclass. Spain is known for its mild climate and sunny days, but on our opening drive, intermittent showers added to the challenges in the high stands.
So, we've just been told the drive is over. It has just been absolutely amazing. It has been exciting. There's been boar from all sides, all different sizes, different speeds, and it's really been challenging. It's been challenging. I'm completely exhausted because it's just, I've been concentrating all the way through, no time to relax. And I absolutely loved it.
The first drive was overwhelming for me, to be honest. I was just sort of settling in, and I was expecting maybe a few boars to filter through, but I had no idea what awaited me. And it just, from the first second to the last second of that drive, there was boar flying around us from all directions, all sizes, at all different distances, and there was not 1 second to relax. So I would call the first drive overwhelmingly exciting. The first stand was maybe a mix between a fire break, but also being able to see a little bit into the bush. And boar were coming from the front and from behind, mostly singles, which in Spain is interestingly common. You rarely have big groups of boar coming through. I think it's because the brush is so thick that they often get separated by the dogs and then come in singles, which is, of course, much better for the shooter because you can focus on one animal instead of having to focus on a whole group. So we had a lot of singles come through. We had one very nice Kyler come right down at the bottom, and I was happy to have seen him and be able to get the shot off. He was over that ride pretty quickly. That's one I remember in particular. But then also lots of small frischling, and really the speed that they have once they fly. I mean, I'm calling it flying because they fly over these fire breaks.
And now it's time for our hunters to load up and begin their preps for an additional bonus drive. This is a chance to see how everyone fared on Drive 1, and another chance at these boars going top speed over the fire breaks.
Nice job. Yeah, well done. How about you? Kalle?
What about you, Carl?
How was it?
It was a challenge.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was quite because, I mean, I don't think we ever saw a wild for more than 5 seconds.
As in any of these situations, if you know, hunting in the Midwest or anywhere in the world, really, it's always fun to get back together and kind of have a recount of how things went. Franz, I'd heard that there was a lot of shooting coming from behind me, which is where Franz was, which is, you know, great for him because he had a lot of opportunities, and a guy that could shoot like him, he took advantage of it. So he had done a great job of taking care of a lot of the boar that moved through the whole hunting area, which was fantastic. And then Carl Gustav had some shooting as well. It's always fun. We can poke fun at each other and also congratulate each other, which is always fun.
Wild Boar Fever Spain is brought to you by Aimpoint, the future in sight. By Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. And by J.P. Sauer & Son, guns for generations.
With Drive 1 in the books, the Wild Boar Fever crew is given the option to move stands and try another push. Spain is known for having one long drive per day. But because our group is much smaller than most, the logistics for getting everyone to the next stand are far less daunting.
We met quickly, everybody could tell their stories. We rearranged the cars and went out for the second drive. But it's nice to have that little break and to kind of regather, talk about the different stories and what everybody saw and experienced, and then go out and do it again.
So, we just had a small regrouping, and now we arrived at the second stand. So we will get locked and loaded.
Every high stand on the estancia offers different challenges to the hunter, vantage points that can expose both strengths and weaknesses.
Well, we have the stand here is great. We basically have a nice 180-degree area that we can shoot. We're on this down this hillside here, but we do have a backstop pretty much down to these trees, at least down here. So this is a good spot.
Second drive was amazing, just because it was so different in terms of the scenery. We were on top of a little hillside. On the left of us, it was downhill, and on the right, it was more like an open plain. All high grass, high dry grass. So difficult to see the boar, especially when they were small. It was interesting to hunt.
Well, unfortunately, the majority of our time here, it'd been raining. But once we moved from the first stand to the first day to our second stand, the sun broke out and it turned into a spectacular Spanish day, which was great to see because it'd been overcast and raining for so long. Now we got to see this great vista. We were up on a hillside looking down at the river valley, hills in the background. Again, on somewhat of a small fire break with pigs, again, 360 degrees. The dogs were coursing the whole time when we moved stand to stand. So the dogs were still running through the hunting area, and game was just kind of sporadic at that point. But you had to keep your wits about you because they could pop out at any moment.
Okay, firstling. First one from this stand.
So, this is an amazing stand because we have so much more space to shoot at it than the first one, so we have time to size them and sex them and see what we're shooting at. And until now they came running, but I mean, it was all manageable. We got 2 very good clean kills, so it's super nice so far.
Carl Gustav Schulenhovald is having quite a run on the second drive of the day. It's a testament to practice at the range and knowing all you can about your gear and the way it performs. For Carl, getting a visit to the estate from Julian Wigenmeyer of J.P. Sauer & Sons meant a closer look at some of the armament used for this drive.
Julian, I see through the year different fairs and so on, and it's always, it's always super nice because you have like-minded people, as we talked about before, and you can kind of dive in to whatever you're passionate about and get a lot of insights. I think I always enjoy being with passionate people, and Julian has an unbelievable knowledge about rifles.
So for Franz-Albrecht, we picked this nice Sauer 404. It has a really beautiful wood on it with an adjustable cheek piece. This, combines that traditional look of the rifle and its beauty of the walnut stock, just with ergonomical features as the adjustable cheek piece. Then, of course, to be even able to make those quick shots, you need a smooth action, and this is what I think Sauer is famous for forever. And, especially on the 404, you really have a very smooth action on that, which allows you just to have a fluent repeating process.
And then we put on top the Aimpoint Micro H2 with the Sauer mount. That's how you can actually get them like that. So it's straight out of the box. And then Franz-Albrecht, he wanted a 2 MOA dot because then he likes it that it's as small as possible, because then also at further distances the dot won't cover as much.
So I think, Tarde, that's it. About the gear, I think we're very well prepared. So I wish you a lot of Weidmannsheil for the upcoming days on the wild boars, and good shooting.
With the sun shining once again on the mountains of Castilla-La Mancha, Carl Gustav continues finding his stride on the shooting peg.
Suddenly, first big guy that comes in, and it drops in a shot, and then we have a second small firstly running away, and then there came another big guy, and that also dropped perfectly. And then unfortunately, we missed the firstly with the last shot. I was in front of it, and I would say 65 meters, but so exciting. I mean, this is the best. On?
Yeah.
First boar of the drive. I heard some shots before, but I haven't heard any dogs yet. It's just sort of slying its way out. I'm surprised it came over the open up here. I was expecting more to happen below us because there's more shade and more trees and more cover.
suddenly Überläufer came again from the wrong side, opposite side of the drive. So we took that perfect shot to the head and dropped immediately. And then our Signitalia was like, oh, and we turned around and there came a small Frischling running towards us and another one behind it. And I shot at the second one. First shot was a miss, but second shot, I got it and it just ran into the bushes. I mean, amazing hunting.
Behind. Completely surprising from behind. No idea where that came from.
Wild Boar Fever Spain is brought to you by Aimpoint, the future in sight. By Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. And by J.P. Sauer & Son, guns for generations.
Carl Gustav Schulenhovald has been a fan of the Wild Boar Fever series since he was a youngster. And now to be standing on a shooting peg, taking part in the experience with the big tusked Keilers of Spain, the whole thing seems sort of surreal. Beaters are getting real close.
Behind.
It's so flat. Just a bit worried because it's flat. The near one was fine, but the other ones are just on that ridge. And I heard beaters down there. I just want to be 100% sure.
We were just talking about one Frischling that we had. And then two Frischling came on their own. I got the first one perfectly, and then the second one speeded up. So much action. Big Keiler. So we just had some action with two Frischling up there. And then I suddenly saw something coming out. And there was a big Keiler that just stopped for a second. I gave it a shot. Very nice. Los gigantas.
No dogs, no pressure. He seems to have been split, just came trolling through. Ideal situation. I'm lucky that he came up on that little open ground because there's so much high grass behind him before that I don't think I would have seen him.
Amazing. and we just had a single eagle locker coming. And it was kind of, yeah, making sure everything was right, and then it saw us and it turned, and I got a nice shot in that dropped it. So perfect.
So we've come to the end of the hunting day, and it's just been amazing. Both drives have been so different in terms of landscape, in terms of how the boar approached us, but just a very, very good day hunting boar. Thank you, Spain.
So here we're sitting with one of the beautiful kites that I just shot. It came out perfectly, was just securing a bit. It came from the opposite side of the drive, as they always do, sneaking out. And it just looked up at us, and that's the last thing it did. So it's super nice. I mean, body size is not the biggest. It's maybe, yeah, 95, 100 kilos. But if you look at the tusks, they are, I mean, maybe 6, 7, 8 centimeters outside. So beautiful.
As the day winds down, hunters and beaters gather to pay tribute to the wild boar and to honor the hard work involved in this crucial management tool.
I think it's really important part to show that you respect the game that you've taken, and also all the people organizing. Because, I mean, we are, of course, the ones shooting it, but we are only doing the last part of what so many people have been working for the whole year.